Hey guys, welcome back to D&D with Filthy and Friends. Quick recap of the last episode. We found the Abbess. She was less of a talker than we were expecting. Not the general, like, old woman who's running this successful monastery that you think of. Although, don't normally abbesses run not things that are monasteries? Aren't monasteries male in nature? I don't know. Anyways. But anyways, she was a warrior abbess who then proceeded to give the party a little bit of a scare there with her blind fighting style and lots of reaction stunts. We've survived it. That's visible on the recording, just FYI, Tim. And, and we survived that, found some mysteries that need to be explored, and we currently run off because a portion of the monks got away from us and have run off to find reinforcements, and we are out of resources. So we have skedaddled temporarily, hopefully to recover and get back in here. So,
all right. So you guys head out the southeast servants' door, as it might be, and what do you do?
We go back to where the horses are at the choke point where the, there's the small choke point. It's basically the entrance to this place. We go back there, and I assume that we just do a long rest right there, just keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Like, I suppose we could run away.
No, I like that. I like that. It's a good spot. We have good sight. It's a valley between us and the monastery. Like, if someone's coming that way, we have long lines of sight on them, plenty of warning. Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
Other yes-nos?
Right, well, it's too bad you guys have to take a rest. I was ready to kill all the rest of them, I think. But I guess we could take a break. Yep.
Does anybody have any illusion to clog up this exit with?
I've got minor illusions, 5-foot cubes.
I don't think they last 8 hours, though.
They wouldn't last through a rest, okay?
They last a minute, yeah.
No.
Never mind.
Later on,
I guess
that hallucinatory terrain or whatever it's called is a little bit later. That is something we can do later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So what day is it?
I'm literally trying to find that out. So, yeah, I guess we'll just go with that. So, let's go as 8
p.m.?
p.m.
Okay. I mean, it'd be nice to take a minute, stretch my arms
lunchtime.
after killing all these people. And
I just told those guys that it was lunchtime.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's what gave you away, clearly.
yeah, seriously, lunch? It's 7 p.m.
Well, I think it was lunchtime.
Let's go. Okay, so
care.
then let's say it's, I don't know.
4.
Sure.
4 sounds reasonable. All right.
Just retcon it. He asked for dinner.
Yeah. There you go.
Dinner.
Perfect.
There you go. Bam.
All right, so we are a ways from here.
I assume we're just going to sleep for 8 hours and that's that, though, right?
Yeah, and go back in. I want to figure out whatever this...
Right.
I mean, so I assume Thaddeus has told us now that when we get down to get a second to talk, and we're like, holy shit, Thaddeus, what was that? The ray through the ceiling?
Oh, wait, are you asking me?
Yeah.
So this is before everyone rests. You're going to have a conversation.
Yeah, right. Resting is... You get 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of just kind of doing whatever as long as it's low-key. This is as.
What are the set washes, though? If for sure we're starting rest now.
I mean, we had the order. Does anyone remember what it was?
I think Tim was
Tim was 3-4, right?
Trance first so that I can get my spells back, if that's okay. Because I get the first rest completion. Because it only takes 4 hours for me.
Right, okay, so Tim takes the last 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
Sniven's
you wanted
so you're first.
Dead of Night?
Yeah, you're first, I'm second, Tim's third and fourth, Sniven doesn't do any.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm first watch, is that right?
Yep.
Is that what I just heard?
Yep. Alright. Oh my goodness.
You all sleep.
Okay.
Do you want to have a conversation about what happened?
I did.
With Thaddeus and... Yeah.
What the
Kevin?
hell was that, Thaddeus?
As I said before, this is a dwarven monastery, and that was an important shrine to Moradin. Those desecrators, those foul pustules of feculent...
Thaddeus, you're obsessed.
I couldn't stand it. I saw the desecration and I was possessed with rage.
So that was you. That was you or your god?
Oh, you mean
a giant light / meteor that came through the roof. Yeah, that one.
That was Moradin's wrath upon the desecrators and vile maggots.
Jesus. Wow. Well, it seems weird to me. I mean, this was his holy place. He got desecrated, and now he's nuking it from orbit?
It was... Are you daft, man? No, this was just the removal of the blight upon it, and I shall return and reconsecrate it to Moradin.
All right.
Might not want to summon any more demons in there. Maybe not next to him.
Well, I think we're good for a while. It's not consecrated yet. The moment the demons are helping.
So, did you get the sense that we were sort of done there, Thaddeus? Maybe go back to town, have a beer.
Have you all been slapped upon the head? What? Of course we cannot leave. There's so much more death and mayhem. There's defilers deep in the bowels of this feculent place. No.
Tim,
Cannot leave.
I hadn't
It's
thought
just-
about that. We haven't cleansed the bowels of Moradin yet.
Tim, it's that creature down there, though. Don't you want to try and kill it?
Well, the creature was all good and stuff, but I'll admit I heard some humans screaming at the bottom of the stairs, and I don't like screaming myself. Might not be the best place to be. I don't know. Do you think... Is that an important thing, Thaddeus? I don't understand the big ways of the world and gods, but maybe I meant to go to where the humans are screaming and just see if I scream too. Is that what being a hero is?
You spoke of converting to worship of Moradin. I can't believe you would consider walking away while his shrine is still desecrated.
Lots of fun stuff to do somewhere else. Less humans screaming.
I will barely forgive you if you leave me here to do this job alone, but I understand if you have fear in your bowels.
I don't have much in my bowels.
I
Have no response.
don't
Well-
even want to know. I really don't.
Fair enough, Thaddeus. I understand. All right. We'll give it a
Not
go.
to mention, there are many, many casks of brandy. Many.
I didn't see that room, did I?
That's why he's telling you.
Oh, well, what are we resting out here for, then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No.
All right. I'm ready to enter my trance.
and with that, I'll have a nice nap.
Yeah.
Get the brandy sooner.
Not again. You hear me? I'm muttering to myself. I'm like, Sniven, can you come here a second?
Sure.
On where, Adam? Right,
It's,
just on the
it's
chest.
the same place. Yeah.
All right. Can you? I can kind of only half see this. Can you tell me? And I take off my armor and where the tattoos were before. It's bothering me again. Is it getting worse? And I'll ask Sniven if he can see anything.
What does Sniven see then?
He sees typing.
You see a well-drawn picture of Moradin's bowels, filled and unfilled.
I'm not going to
emoji.
say it. I'm going to tell Xylo what he sees, and then he can...
You see a poop emoji.
It looks about the same as before. Nothing that out of the ordinary. Hopefully you're not about to die.
Thanks, Sniven. I look too, but I just assume that you're looking at yourself. You sometimes have trouble spotting it, especially if it moves around the sides of you at all. So what do I see? Tell me that too.
The hourglass is filled up a bit.
So the bottom, which had sand in it anyways, has increased the amount of sand in the bottom? Okay.
So it's now like a quarter full, whereas maybe it was like an eighth full before.
That's encouraging. So, by some ways I interpret this, I just lost about a quarter of my remaining time in this world. Huh.
No, you got a quarter more sand. It went from an eighth to a quarter. You have done something to give yourself more.
Yeah, but when sand flows into the bottom, that means you're out of time.
Right. Sand at the top is time remaining. Sand at the bottom is time passed.
Yeah. So just gain some time to pass.
This is. I interpret that differently.
It's okay. It's a magic hourglass. Everything will be fine.
All right.
It's not like you have cancer and you're going to die in a day. Don't worry about it.
No, I've got about apparently.
I can hold him down if you want to just bludgeon him now, Thaddeus.
Tim, go back to your trance. No one bothered you. Shut up and meditate over there. Right. So I'll settle down and kind of clean the rest of my gear.
You know, this reminds me of the time old Greybeard took a potion he thought would cure his softening member, and it fell right off. Not on the spot, mind you. I've told you this story. Never mind.
Your god has some strange followers, strange beliefs. It's all pustulant this, bowels that, and impotent members. And he's a very sexual god, your god, isn't he?
Raging he is sometimes. Very, very prolific. Yes.
Wow.
Inflamed with desire.
Inflamed sounds exactly like him. Fever inflamed, pustulant inflamed, sexually inflamed. It makes a lot of sense. He's the god of being inflamed, huh?
Passion and inflamed. You betcha.
Tim.
How do you
gasps? Tim gasps, and his eyes open, but there are no pupils. You know, it's just whites. They're sort of glowing, and then the pupils shudder back. The gargoyles. I'm sorry. The statues that look like gargoyles, except they're stone. Two of them from the garden have disappeared.
All right.
As in, like, coming towards us, about to attack us, disappeared, or just disappeared?
Well, Mr. Snibbles doesn't see them. I'd like Mr. Snibbles to return to me at this time.
So the owl saw it. They were there on one pass, and then when it came back around, they're gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll perception. Did I see Tim come out of the trance, or just hear his report once he did?
I mean, I presume he's just like sits in front of the campfire and trances, so you can see him right there in front of you, presumably.
Hiding, definitely.
Actually, I'm supposed to be sleeping while he's.
Yeah.
No.
Well, again,
no, I'm on first watch.
Yeah.
He's sleeping. Yeah.
I'm just chatting with you for a few minutes before we go to bed, learning about your god and his mysterious dwarven ways.
Right. All right.
Well, I mean, it's not like we don't know there's hostiles out there. We just need to keep watch. If they bother us, we'll deal with them. The first two weren't too bad. But I'm not going to go hunting gargoyles in the dark, wandering around this monastery, right?
I will remain watchful.
It's not.
Well, it's we're
8, we said.
No, 4.
No, Tim was just confused about what dinner and lunch is. He's from a different part of the world.
So wait, did we start resting at 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. since there's a debate?
4.
Okay.
I still don't want to run around out there. The whole point of resting is to recover and not
just to rest.
Go chasing other people. If they come to us, we'll deal with it.
Just make sure Mr. Nibbles doesn't get become gargoyle food, and we'll be all right.
Thaddeus, just keep an eye on the sky from time to time. You know, this is a choke point by land, but it's just open by sky.
And will Mr. Nibbles be helping me?
Are you gonna wake me up again? Come on. You think it's easy going in and out of trances?
You'll be fine,
I-
Thaddeus.
I thought you were still awake. That was 10 seconds ago.
I know, right? It could have been too hard. Yeah.
Tim just like comes out of trance, says something, and then instantly just goes back to sleep.
How hard
That's
do you think
exactly what I do.
That's what he normally does, right?
God.
Beware the dog barking at the blue moon.
Yes, exactly.
You can see
Two gargoyles have gone missing and the world trembles in fear.
The camp right now, but the owl is not like around the monastery. It's near me.
Okay, excellent. I will just continue my intense watchfulness.
All right. I'll lean back against the passage and try to get a little bit of shut eye.
That trick with the pupils really isn't like easy. That feels really weird.
You're
to
asleep.
Do. Okay.
If you won't talk to me, don't talk to me.
That's right. 2 minutes in, we respond to your conversation. Oh, how this is hard to do. I can't be bothered every 2 minutes. Uh-huh.
Okay,
I'd like to wake them up when they've been asleep for 5 minutes. No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So how does the resting go?
Fine.
Slowly.
Apart from all the information I've whispered to each individual, like what I told Tim about the owl and Chakolth's thing on his chest, everything is normal.
So has 8 hours passed and we've fully long rested?
Yep.
Okay. Thank God we did not die horribly.
I feel so pretty.
That's my job.
Did you see what I wrote to you, Kevin?
I do.
Okay, good.
Successfully long rested. Oh my goodness, that's nice.
So that's all spells, all health.
Yeah.
Oh, how much hit dice is that? It's
Half.
level, half rounded down. Yeah, okay, so we got
down
2
or
hit dice.
up? I don't know.
It-
It's
I
at
think
least
every-
2.
Yeah, I think it's just 2.
So, Adam, can I clarify whether that's a future or a past?
A past.
Okay, that's the way I interpreted it. Thank you.
Like that's almost what it was.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so what time is it now? Midnight?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Perfect time to kill people.
Let's go.
So let's go back into the monastery, yes?
Okay.
Okay.
So which door? Do we want to finish clearing out the first floor of the monastery? There's one more room that we haven't been in, and there's whatever this stuff over here is, going up and down. Okay.
Is it reasonable to maybe just like sort of really like as a group, but casually just sort of walk through the monastery of places that we've already been, just to make sure monsters haven't respawned?
Respawn? You mean people have come out of the dungeons below?
Right.
Right. So everyone wakes up. Where do you go? You can do that. If you're going to do that, very quickly tell me the route you take.
I think we're going to slowly approach the monastery. We'll take a look first to see if anyone is clearly visible or not. For example, have doors that we busted open been closed or repaired in any way? This type of thing. Do we see any evidence of people moving around or anything like that?
Nope. Nothing.
Okay.
No lights in any windows?
Okay. Does the bird, I assume, doesn't fly over?
Right. Sorry. What is it? Bird? That's up to Steve.
You might. The bird has noticed that the 2 gargoyles have replaced the statues here.
In the front.
You see on the map? Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's cute.
So
they grow gargoyles
So those
in the garden.
gargoyles.
They
grow gargoyles in the garden.
Instead of a vegetable patch, it's a gargoyle patch, and they just grow them.
So they're still missing from the garden?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
interesting.
those ones did respawn, sort of.
Well, we could just avoid that room.
I'd like to suggest we see the room or two we didn't see, and then go down the smaller staircase.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Rather than where the beast is. Presumably those connect, and this would be a safer route down.
Yep, okay. I can get behind that.
All right, let's go. I want to see. The only thing I want to see first is this room before we go. So.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yep. Okay.
Who has Arcana proficiency?
I do.
Okay.
Technically, I do.
As you approach this door, can you both roll it?
Sorry, inner door or outer door?
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can both tell that there is an arcane lock on this door.
What do I know about arcane locks? Is that something that I could counter magically?
You can. So this spell allows creatures that you designate to open the object normally, and you can set a password when spoken within 5 feet of the object, which would suppress the spell. Otherwise, the door becomes very difficult to open and almost impassable unless you're very strong or using, pick locks, or you could use knock as a spell to disarm it, etc.
Can you just
abyss
dispel magic the entire
still
thing?
There?
Is the abyss still there?
Yeah, on the floor.
The corpse, yeah.
Yeah. Can I pick the corpse up and use her hand to open the door?
It doesn't work.
All right.
Good idea, though.
I
dead.
do a little waltz with her, and then put the corpse back.
Oh my God.
People are strange. People are truly strange.
Can you roll for humanity?
Yeah.
Roll for humanity.
I'm kidding.
I'm an elf. I'm an
That was
elf.
dark, Stephen. I like
Tim
it.
wouldn't
Okay.
understand.
So you know that this door has been magically sealed, and you can, try to break it in the same way Thaddeus has previously, but it's going to be a lot harder.
So is there like a keyhole, or is it only an arcane lock?
There's no keyhole.
Okay.
Any of you guys
Or we
backing
could say the
dispel magic?
password.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Good call.
Do we want to guess? What happens if we're wrong?
No, that should be effective.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just cast Dispel Magic on it.
Wait,
All right.
hold on. We should try saying friend in Dwarven first.
You think it's Dwarven? Is it Dwarven rune? I was getting closer to...
That's a Lord of the Rings
Oh,
reference.
I haven't
I
heard
like
that book
it.
in a very long time.
Sorry to shit on your logical response.
Although it's clear that the abbess didn't cast this.
Why?
So,
Why is it clear? That's what I was asking. Does it look older than that?
well, because she's not a spellcaster, she's a monk.
Well, who knows what other things she could be doing in her spare time or what resources she has available to her. I mean, it might have been set up by her order as opposed to here from before that. But it could have been
She
before
wasn't. She certainly wasn't learning to dance.
Right. You are a loathsome and malodorous beast.
Actually, why don't we just try using the Master Key crowbar? And if that fails, then I'll dispel it.
I'm going to give him plenty of space if he does that. Generally, trying to force arcane things results in fireballs, so I'm going to back up.
3rd level spell, man. I don't want to just...
Sure.
So you make a strength check with advantage.
Don't we have a ritual caster?
Yeah, but nothing that could deal with this, though.
Can you ritual cast a spell magic?
No.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Okay.
He doesn't have it anyways.
No, I meant you, but yeah.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so I might as well just try to force it.
You get advantage with strength check. As everyone hides behind the corner.
we're all rooting you on, man.
You can do it, Thaddeus! I yell from around the corner and poke my head back immediately.
Remember not to die.
Dwarves like fire!
Or am I touching?
I have not rolled. I was
21. All right. You jam the crowbar into the door and you pull it with all your might, and you can see there's a piece of metal that begins to bend and fracture, and it snaps away. And you're like, all right, guys, I've done it. And as you say that, it just snaps back into place.
Stupid magic door. Do we want to try any of the phrases from that book that Tim recovered?
Right.
I can't quite remember, but if I scroll up further enough.
sure. We could say Iron Fang.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, it's the only ones I wrote down too. Fane of the Eye. What was the group called that he founded, though?
He nurtures the black geode,
Yeah, but wasn't that...
the ever-growing mountain, sacred stone monastery.
We just read the note out loud in front of the door.
The entire note, yeah.
Yeah.
So if any of those words are relevant, then it unlocks it.
You say nothing happened?
You can try again if you want, the crowbar, you know.
Oh, yeah, if I've got a second go.
You can try as many times as necessary. If you want, you can do what I would call a persistent check, so you can spend a allotted amount of time. So basically, this used to be in Pathfinder where it's called Take 20, and you'd spend 20 minutes doing something, and that just means you're guaranteed to eventually pass it. And if you want to just pass time until you crowbar the fuck out of this door, you can do that. Rather than me saying, Kevin, roll 20 dice, I'll just say eventually you do it in 20 minutes.
Think of passion, Thaddeus!
But if you want to make a second roll or whatever... You know.
I feel inflamed. And athletics would not count.
No, it's got to be strength with the crowbar.
Okay, because athletics is a strength check. I wasn't sure if that would be appropriate.
Oh, there's another door through the garden.
Yeah.
May not connect. I don't want to go outside.
I don't want to go through the garden just because of the gargoyles.
Vegetables are not scary.
I'll give it another try or two, and if it resists that, then I will just beat it to splinters.
Okay.
Maybe I won't. I'll give it another try.
Well, isn't this a crumbling wall in the east? We could just go into the fucking crumbling wall. You're probably gonna have an easier time crowbarring that.
So your second attempt seems better, like as if the spell or the door or something was weakened, and you can see that this time you do some damage to the door, but it doesn't open, but it's not like repairing itself in the same way.
All right. I will give it one more strong effort.
And with that, the door splinters apart and is able to be opened.
I listen intently for any sounds of fireballs.
What do you want to do?
I just saw you ping the map, and I thought, well,
Sorry,
there's the fireball.
I was just moving your guy.
I assume Thaddeus looks into the door to see.
Then the meteor swarm hits, right? Yeah, I'd like to peek open through the exploded door. Or the openable door, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This older part of the monastery has been fitted out as a laboratory, with work tables covered in alchemic apparatus and shelves full of strange curios and dusty clay jars. The windows have been bricked up, and cobwebs hang thick in the ceiling corners. An ancient figure peruses a heavy tome that lies open on a small desk, making notes on sheets of parchment covered in arcane writings. What appears to be an undead individual of unimaginable age to you, Thaddeus, stands and looks up very, very, very slowly, and in a very low, kind of monotone voice just says, "I am not your enemy. Now go."
He's undead. Of course he's my enemy. Do I feel a compulsion to leave?
Nope. He's just saying that as a statement.
And is he's not dwarven?
Nope. He looks like a human that is undead and very, very old.
Skeletal?
No.
Lovely.
Not like a falling apart zombie either. I'm like, like someone who has a grasp on retaining themselves as an undead,
Like
perhaps.
a vampire?
That could be perhaps an interpretation.
Lich?
Yeah, vampire
Also
lich. There's
yeah.
a couple options here, and none of them are at all friendly. And so that stairs down, landing to the garden door, stairs down further.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your enemy. Is that what he said? Sorry.
I am not your enemy. Now go.
Wow.
Is this do we need a
Yeah,
goblin?
we need to consult for a minute. I'm going to just step away from the door, I think, and tell them what I've seen, and let's talk about whether he's our problem right now.
So, how old was he exactly?
He's as old as the mountains around us, I fear.
Sounds like he might have information that could be useful to us. Like what the hell is going on in this this monastery.
Do you understand the amount of power it takes to cheat death and be old that long, though?
Well, can he be that powerful? He can't even build a proper door.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You would just walk away from a being
I'm
who
not-
can cheat death.
I'm not sure, but if there's anything in here that might be able to wipe us away, it might be that.
Well, can't
Can
hurt.
you ask him some questions?
Can we?
And we'll run for our lives if he becomes angry?
I mean, certainly he might be interested in the fact that you're going to reconsecrate this monastery, that the gods who ruled over this will be changing. That may be relevant to him. Perhaps we can offer an exchange of information that affects his desires as well as ours. I mean, clearly he's here doing something. A laboratory in the middle of this monastery, in the middle of nowhere, sealed by magical doors. Sounds like something's going on. He might want to work undisturbed. Can we not offer some sort of trade of information?
I suppose if he says that he's not our enemy, then he's at least susceptible to talking, at least somewhat.
I don't feel I'm the right one to have this conversation.
I think that's
My desire is to run in and pound him into the ground.
uncharacteristically wise of you, Thaddeus, to recognize that.
The sight of him, the vomit, it boils up in my...
Thaddeus, behind us! And then I motion to Sniven to wander
Tim?
over.
Sniven's about to go talk to him. Tim, do you have any input?
Tim's not there right now.
He's
Tim's
Wait, what?
drinking himself stupid in the other
Where's
room.
Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, you didn't see
He's
the little
drinking.
symbol he's found?
All right.
Oh, can you make... How many brandies do you drink?
Like one,
Can you make...
just pretending to be drunk.
Like
okay.
one cask.
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
Is it
when-
like a
when he
bottle
says-
or one drink?
Just enough for a little buzz. That's what I'm
That's
aiming
fine.
for.
He's aiming for courage so he can go face his screaming voices.
I'm just sampling.
That's fine.
I'll accompany you, Sniven.
Okay.
Yep. The undead, very good. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so
Almost
Sniv-
as old as me.
The
So-
brandy is it's very strong. It's not very good, but it burns fiercely in your chest.
Okay.
Okay. So Sniven
It's
will-
acid brandy. Good job.
No, it's definitely brandy, but it's just not very well made.
It's flavored with acid. It's like charcoal barreled.
Okay, so Sniven will walk up to the door, and he's gonna look at this guy, and he's just ignoring that we're here. Essentially,
So you look in. Do you do anything
yes,
else?
through the door, just looking in first.
You can see that
I
he's
want-
looked back down at his book.
Okay.
I would like line of sight on him at all times while Sniven is talking.
Would darkness
like
be
that.
helpful?
No. Good day, good spellcaster. We don't mean to bother you, but we're here looking for some people. Would you mind having a conversation for at least a short while?
You roll persuasion. He very slowly closes his book and
Roll the
puts it,
three.
puts it down onto the side. What is it you desire, Goblin? My time is very, very, very precious, and your life seems much more precious to you.
We're very grateful for your time. We shan't take much of it. We are here searching for a missing dwarven delegation, and we have much reason to believe that it is here somewhere. Once again, we don't want to take much of your time, but If you knew anything about this, we would be very happy.
I
hear.
do not busy myself with these cultists and their dark and stupid ways. They are young, impetuous idiots. I have no idea what you are talking about.
Oh, well, if they are a bother to you, we just happen to be disposing of many of them. Maybe we could help you out by getting rid of them.
You have slain all the cultists in this monastery?
Oh, not exactly, but we expect that we would have very soon. Would that be
interesting? Come forward, goblin. Bring your friends to me. Can you roll history as you all enter the room?
I guess proficiencies again, right? So just the goblin.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what we're agreed
Yeah.
on. I want to hear
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it too. Just give him a low DC. I want to hear too.
Oh god, it's fucking terrifying.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
Anyone else proficient in history?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
We're not scholars in this group.
This face is familiar, but you don't know why. You know this person from history, but you do not know who it is.
I greet him and I say, I'm known as Chakolth. Who do we have the honor of speaking to?
He just kind of tilts his head and looks at you. A drow, is it?
Half drow.
Dark, evil race, aren't you? Quite impetuous as well. Very eager to kill and slay. Yes, I have met many of your kind. Are you the same, young Chakolth?
My father's blood only. Tempered by my human blood for my mother. I don't know where it will lead me, but we'll see.
So, once again, would getting rid of these cultists be of use to you?
Oh, yes. Very useful. In fact, if you do this for me, I will make you a promise. No more cultists will ever come back here if you remove them. I will make sure of it.
I see.
So I just want everyone to move into the room in some way, as he asked. So I guess you can be with in this kind of area.
Mm-hmm. Should we clump up for a cone or a cube? What would be easier?
No, just general
Exactly.
whatever the marching order was, or
Mhm.
know.
I would stay up with Sniven for this.
You too, Kevin. You too, Kevin.
Do we feel magically compelled to do this? Or...
No. But he asked you to come in and bring your friends. I presume that you would cooperate, and you have done that.
My intention was to not go into the room for fear that I would.
I'll speak on his behalf, and I'll say our friend is does not understand the undead. He is a man of his god, and his god seems to have fairly limited and straightforward views on things. He's not in the room. He can't hear me. I'm telling it to the Lich.
Do not worry. I will not harm you or your party if you adhere to your words, Goblin. Bring the dwarf to me.
I'll step in the
He
hall and
will.
say,
Can people sense motive on this, please? Because I can't.
I will try to read the emotions of a ancient lich.
I'll try to get a sense of what's happening in the lab if I can sort of look around. The
He's
table in front of me and stuff.
okay. So hang on. You want me to describe what's around? Let me find one. So yeah, there's strange curios, dusty clay jars. You can see. Let me see. There's definitely some potions that you could feasibly pertain to use. There's some scrolls. Yeah, so there's definitely stuff here that is loot. Let's put it that way. Chakolth, you completely believe everything he's saying. He's definitely telling the truth. in your opinion? Sniven has no
I-
clues. Maybe he's just very, very scared right now.
All right, I'll say to him, like, how do I? If you won't tell me your name, how should I address you?
My apologies. You may call me Renwick.
Renwick, I urge caution, please, or rather, I request your patience with Thaddeus. Thaddeus's god once owned this monastery, and seeing it desecrated in such a way has seriously angered him. Please take what he says with a grain of salt and take your time before deciding how to react. And then I'll step into the hallway and say to Thaddeus, the Renwick wishes all of us to be in the room as he offers to barter with us. Can you join us, Thad?
I do not bargain with devils and demons and undead.
He has offered to, if we clear the cultists, he has offered to make it so that no one will defile this monastery again. That seems to be...
That is not his job, that is the job of my lord.
The voice comes from the room. I will not be bargaining with you, dwarf. My bargain is with your friend. I simply wish to look upon you.
I'm going to insight check that. That sounds sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, that's actually...
He seems legit.
Okay.
Oh, that's not an advantage. Oh, yeah, it is. That's insight.
Why-
No, perception is an
Yeah.
is advantage, yeah.
All right then, Sir Renwick. What exactly is your bargain?
If you rid this place of the cultists and return to me with proof of the abbess's death, I shall reward you and keep this haven safe from any more intruders.
And how do you propose to do that?
Can you roll religion, Kevin?
Only in the worst possible way.
Okay.
So when Xylo says the name Renwick, you recognize this name as an eldest of three brother knights who created an order of paladins in the service of the god Tyr.
Which is a very, very common god that's like a good god, just for people to know.
Mm-hmm. I will do this because I am eternally powerful and eternally immortal. I am ageless and very old and very strong dwarf. As you know from my name, don't you?
And can Moradin reoccupy and consecrate this monastery after you protect it?
That sounds delightful. He slowly reaches into his, attire. In fact, actually, I'm just going to sort of do this so you guys can kind of get a sense of what he looks like. Apart from, the face mask, because I can't remove that, so...
How do we know he's undead?
His skin is, pale grey and just looks like it's, kind of like a zombie's flesh color would look, and that sort of stretched, but it's it's not falling apart like a zombie would or a vampire.
Okay.
So, in what way could you help us with this?
He
Is
pulls
there any
out.
information that you have?
He pulls out an amulet. Come forward, dwarf. I offer this to you as a bargaining chip.
Dwarf?
Yeah.
All right.
Come forward and touch it, Thaddeus.
And
Closer, little boy.
right. And the problem here is if I cast Divine Sense, he's going to come up as undead. I don't have good and evil. So he's potentially a good undead, which is super
That's
creepy.
true.
Can anyone that roll Arcana? Like proficiency or whatever.
Yeah, it's the goblin and the elf again.
He's hold. Did you take it from him, Kevin?
Can I hold on? I don't. Hold on, Kevin. Just wait a second. Oh, hold on, Thaddeus. Just wait a second.
So you recognize this as an amulet of health, Stephen? Which,
I think I'd better check that. Actually, it'd be a better idea if I checked that.
this is my gift for the dwarf elf. Would not trust me.
Fair enough. No, I was just having a laugh with them. Really, we just do jokes. Do you jokes?
I will say a
You
few
want a
holy.
joke, elf?
I'll say a few holy prayers and reach out and take it from him as I'm praying.
He kind of like as you start praying, he like pulls the amulet back and puts his hands together and just kind of leans forward as if he's praying with you.
Closer.
And then when you stop, he comes back up and he passes it to you.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll take it. Sure.
You are wise and very good to follow Moradin, dwarf. He will protect you as he did earlier.
Why are you here,
Yeah.
Renwick?
So this, sorry, very quickly, this will set, whoever wears this will set their con as 19.
Wow. Okay.
I'm totally willing to do that.
I'm conducting research, my young drow. When time is your best resource, you spend it wisely.
Why here?
Go now. Find the abbess and bring her to me.
Hold on, and I'll walk out, grab the abyss.
Oh
bring her
God!
back.
Don't do that.
Why didn't you mention this sooner?
We started to. You asked if we had killed all the cultists, and we said we had begun that task but not yet finished it. Here's the abyss. Here's the proof of our goodwill and proof of what our intent is.
And he just takes the body off you, and then walks over and puts her on this table over here, and sort of slowly walks back to this desk. Then my end of the bargain will be fulfilled. Come forth. I shall give you a few more trinkets, and then you will leave me alone? Yes.
What will you do
And
with her?
I will protect this place. What will I do with her? I have much time to decide. I do not know yet.
I suppose even the undead get lonely.
I'm glad you empathize, young Chakolth.
All right.
All right, so he's gonna. Where are we? So we got. A
Can I just be? I don't want to roll it every time, but I don't believe a word he's saying, and every time he speaks, I just want to see if I can tell anything different than what he's saying. I don't want to insight check every set of words, but I feel like he's full of shit.
Well, you've rolled two very good rolls, I think. So was it like a 20 and then a 13? So that's probably like an average of 15 to 16 to 18 or whatever.
Okay.
Everything you said so far seems perfectly legitimate. He's definitely telling the truth. You believe everything he says.
Okay.
So we've got a potion of greater healing, a potion of hill giant strength, a scroll of invisibility, a scroll of Snylock snowball swarm, which I think is a new spell.
I'll add the scrolls to my inventory.
He's given you the amulet of health.
I think Thaddeus again should take the potion of greater healing,
Um,
and probably
And
the
the hill
potion of
giant.
hill giant strength.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's gonna help him. Isn't hill giant strength like 9? I don't know what it does actually. We'll get to the idea later. So. Yeah, you want to put them all in your inventory, Kevin. It's fine. What's the scroll? And the scroll's going to Steve, right? So. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Scrolls
Can
to
none of
Steve.
the rest of you benefit from scrolls?
Anyone? Well, scrolls in this one, I believe it's restricted to the class of spell. So I don't think you can use the scroll from somebody else's class A.
Right.
And if you do use a scroll, I mean, if I got a scroll like a warlock scroll, I don't even know there's such a thing. I don't have a spell book, so I can't benefit from it in the same way that Steve can. I could use it once and use it, but Steve can actually transcribe these into his spell book and have the spell permanently.
Right.
I think Steve can also write scrolls and give them out.
Really?
That costs 1,000 gold.
Well,
Well,
each.
that's probably that costs a
very
lot of money.
expensive,
Though.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he could technically make some consumables that he could give to you guys for like a big fight or something.
So he just gives us this stuff and is like,
Yeah,
thanks.
he pulls out a leather pouch and gives it to you. That's got all the potions and the scrolls in. He's already given the amulet directly to Thaddeus.
I mean, I could certainly use a scroll of invisibility is the spell I can use, but if we're going to have the option of having Steve get it permanently, I'd rather do that route to answer you, Kevin.
Yeah.
In the south room, you can see a magnificent canopy bed covered in dusty, tattered sheets and several moth-eaten couches that suggest this room was probably a bedchamber of somebody important.
So we opened that door, or that door was no door, or was open already?
Technically, it's a wall and a door, but I'm going to treat it as if it's open plan.
Okay.
So, Sir Renwick, what is down the stairs? Is it useful for us to slay the remaining cultists by way of that route?
I must enforce that you cannot go down these stairs. And he points to the stairs in his room.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are many other interesting things you may find. The cultists have captured a large umber hulk of a creature. There are some Orogs making a friend of an ogre, and some perhaps prison cells, I believe, but I take no part in the underground area, except for my part. Do not enter my tomb. I will know, and my friends in there will also greet you. You don't want to make them disturbed or mad.
And is there a seat of power for these cultists?
Perhaps. I am very, very busy.
Perhaps if you spoke faster.
What did you
Time
say?
to go. Time to go. Looks like
faster.
time to go.
I said perhaps if you spoke faster.
Okay,
But I didn't really say it. I was just mouthing off.
So personally, I don't remember exactly what the sort of dwarven place that's supposed to be underneath this is, but I want to ask him about that.
A dwarven place?
Yeah, the thing we read about in the library.
No,
when we were
it
there.
was just it was an old dwarven stronghold, is what it said. That could have been
This whole
this.
place.
Yes.
This whole place is the Sacred Stone Monastery, in theory.
It is
The Temple of Black Earth.
that's what I want to ask him about. Is that underneath this monastery?
Ask him.
Hang on. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I have not explored this area, Goblin. I do not know. There is definitely great and strong power below. One that even I may not be capable of dealing with. At least not yet.
I see. Well, thank you for your time. We shan't disturb you much more.
Perhaps we will stop by on our way out after we've cleared the cultists from their lair and see if there's anything else that you wish to barter with. And then we'll leave. Or I'll leave.
I hope we do not meet again.
I'll say, I didn't hear that! On my way out.
And then he casts Finger of Death on you.
Well, I want to get the door checked.
That is in his spell list.
Oh goodness! Don't tell us things like that. I don't want to know that.
Well, I think you pretty metagamed figured out he's a lich, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
Reminded me a little bit of my mother. Let's get out of here.
Anyone else find it disturbing? We just delivered a fresh corpse to a lich.
Why did you?
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Well, I mean, it's a nice healing potion, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna be back, and she's gonna try and kill us. I'm just letting you know.
Well, maybe he'll take your body for a second time in exchange for more trinkets.
Yeah.
brilliant. I love it.
You know, he's an ex-paladin. He's happy to have Moradin.
He's still a paladin.
Okay.
He's a fallen paladin.
He's well, I don't know. He's a paladin. He's gonna he's happy to have Moradin move back in. That doesn't sound like somebody that's gonna be super shitty.
You tell me. What do you normally do as paladins when you get your free corpses delivered to you?
Technically, there are good liches, but there's no way to become a lich that isn't like ridiculously evil.
All right, we are going to cut the part here though. So, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.